let's talk about graphing linear inequalities in the plane. So you already know how to graph a line, and knowing how to graph a line is half of the problem here. Once you know how to graph a line, the thing that's different here is we're looking at an inequality symbol instead of an equal symbol. So there's two things you need to know. If you have no underline on your inequality symbol, this is going to be a dashed line in the plane. And if you have an underline, that's going to be a solid line in the plane. Right. So whether or not it has an underline is going to play into it. And the other thing that will play into it is the direction. So if you have y less than or y less than or equal to, this is going to mean that you're shading below the line. And if you have y greater than or y greater than or equal to, that means you are shading above the line. So when I look at this guy here, I'm going to plot the line y equals negative 2x plus 3. There's no underline, so I'm going to use a dashed line here. And then this is a less than symbol, so I'm going to shade below the line. What this is doing is shading every coordinate point such that if I plugged in the y and the x, it would make a true statement. So let's go ahead and do this. My y-intercept is at 3. My slope is negative 2, so that's down 2 over 1. And then I'm just going to plot a few more points just to make it really beautiful. I'm just going to, follow the pattern there. Oops. I said I was going to do dashed. All right, there we go. Now, below the line, what does that mean? That's a good question. So if I take and draw a line straight down from the line, that is the below direction. So if I draw straight down, I'm on this side. So that means over here, that's the side I want shaded. And that's it. You're done with this guy. So let's just do a few more for good measure. All right, so now we have y greater than or equal to 4x minus 4. So once again, there's an underline, which means this will be a solid line, and this is a greater than symbol, which means we're shading above. All right, so I'm going to plot the line y equals 4x minus 4. So 4x, the slope is 4, that's up 4 over 1. That gives me my next point. You don't have to plot a bunch of points, but it does make your graph just that much more gorgeous and accurate. All right, now shading above, I'm going to go to my line and I'm drawing straight up. So if you draw straight up, that's going to be arrows going in this direction. So that means you're shading this side of the plane. And what I was talking about before, like what in the world is this shading? Oops, I just selected stuff. What in the world is this shading telling me? It's telling me, hey, you can choose any point in here. Let's say I choose the point, this is the point, negative 8, 0. You can choose any point in the shaded region and plug it into this guy here and have a true statement. So if I have the point negative 8, 0, this is my x, this is my y. So my plugging it into the y is greater than or equal to 4x minus 4. We have 0 greater than or equal to 4 times negative 8 minus 4. Right? 0 is greater than or equal to negative 32 minus 4. 0 is greater than or equal to negative 36. True. So that point is in the plane. However, if I took anything on the unshaded side, let's go with this guy. If I took this guy right here, this is the point 4, 1. Let's plug that point in. So I have 1 is greater than or equal to 4 times 4 minus 4, a lot of 4s. 1 is greater than or equal to 16 minus 4. 1 is greater than or equal to 12. No, it's not. Right, so that's what it means for the shaded region. It means that literally everything over here, any point I choose, is going to fulfill this statement here. And it's a solid line here because every point on this line also fulfills this equation. If we go back here, this is a dashed line because if I chose any point on this line, it wouldn't fulfill this inequality. And let's kind of try it out. Let's just choose this guy. He's easy. This is the point 0, 3. So 0, 3, our x and our y. We have 3 is less than negative 2 times 0 plus 3. 3 is less than 0 plus 3. 3 is less than 3. No, that's not true. It would be true if there was an or equal to part, but it's not. So that's why it's a dashed line, because it's not including that point. It's trying to do the same thing that an open circle does, which is exclude it. If I chose a point on this line here, this is the point 3, 8. If I plug it in, we have 8 greater than or equal to 4 times 3 minus 4. 8 is greater than or equal to 12 minus 4. 8 is greater than or equal to 8. This is true. 8 is equal to 8. Right, so just in case you're curious about that line, like why is it dashed, why is it solid, what is the shading, what's going on, it all has to do with the fact that no longer do we have an equality, there is an inequality here. Right, and the inequality means that you need to do some shading because there's a bunch of points that fulfill this. So let's go ahead and do another one. One more. All right, so we have y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 1. There is an underline, which means our line will be solid, and it is a less than sign, which means we're shading below. So I'm going to come in, plot my y-intercept. The slope is negative 1/2, so that's down 1 over 2. And you don't have to be perfect about this. Beautiful. There's my line. Now, the less than means to shade below, so drawing arrows straight down, this is the below. Region. So, beautiful. So that's the shaded region there. So that's everything you need to know about graphing inequalities in the plane when it's in this form where y is on the left-hand side and it just basically looks like y equals mx plus b. It's the same-ish process if you have your equation in standard form, but we'll talk about that in a different video. So good luck on these. You guys got this. Believe in yourself.